Hey gang, I'm Luke and welcome to Down from the Attic. It's no secret that I love Tomy ball bearing games. Hey, I did a full week on them. But what if Tomy were able to put all that mechanical design and ingenuity into a board game? Well, this is Rumble in the Jungle, a Tomy ball bearing powered board game. Let's get this thing down and check it out.
First off, box art, and these monkeys look familiar to anyone else? I think someone had been watching the Wild Thornberrys when they came out with this. I mean, come on, it's a straight rip-off of Darwin. The box art is okay, it does show off what happens in the game, but it's not overtly clear. Opening the box, well, this explains why the game weighs as much as it does. Look at all this plastic. Even the board feels like it's made of plastic, or at least coated in it. Animals, bamboo trees, huts, this weird Ferris wheel. Yep, there's a lot going on here and this all needs setting up. Alright, here we go. Slide the base of the Ferris wheel in place and slot the Ferris wheel into the base on top of these little pegs. It'll hold it right where it needs to be on the board. Oh, look, there's Darwin again. Smashing. This large palm tree with its angled leaves slots here. Next, the treehouse. Slip the palm tree stand into the base into the board, and you're going to put this large palm tree onto that. These steps leading to the treehouse fit to the leaves and into the board nice and securely. Push this spring down and put the monkey on the pin. The treehouse has a folding roof. Fold the roof and put it over the monkey. Add the seesaw in the holes next to the steps. Next is the bamboo chute. There's 3 pieces that form the track and 2 supports. Naturally, you want the larger supports near the rear of the tree to give the ball bearing a gradient to roll along. Fit the bamboo chute onto the supports, and then you'll need to fit this giraffe into the board, but position its tail just so it pokes through the gap. Add both sides of the wobbly bridge and fit the bridge onto the supports and make sure it clips to the bamboo chute. Okay, we're on the home stretch, I promise. Put this orange earth piece in place in the board and slide the elephant into the front of it. The holes from the bamboo chute should line up perfectly with the elephant's trunk. Add the stake into this hole here, add a monkey onto this peg here on the wheel, and another monkey hangs here just above the seesaw, and we're done. It sounds like a lot of work, but when you've done this a few times, assembling this really isn't that long a process, trust me. And when assembled, this is a real eye-catcher. If I had one criticism, I would have loved a bit of paint on some of the pieces, or some stickers, but this looks nice. Playing the game, you pick an explorer, everyone starts at base camp, and you roll and move. Yes, the game is a roll and move game, I'm not going to lie about that. Your aim is to get to the treehouse first and claim the golden monkey. Roll the dice and you move along the board. But, my friends, the board is where the game gets a bit more interesting. There's 7 traps on the board, which will send you all the way back to the start. The giraffe, the wobbly bridge, the squirming snake, elephant pass, the monkey on the wheel, the seesaw, and being knocked off the ladders. The danger areas on this board are pretty obvious and you'll do your best to try and avoid them. Certain squares on the board, however, will have you moving directly onto them. Yes, the game will put you in harm's way, and it's inevitable that during the course of the game, you'll be moving forwards and backwards and around the board to be put onto one of the traps. But how are these traps activated? Certain board squares have turn crank on them, and they'll tell you how many times to turn the crank. The crank is here on the Ferris wheel, and each time you turn it, you'll hear a click. Turning the crank scoops at the ball bearing in one of these leaves, and it'll take up to 4 turns to bring it up to the top of the wheel and drop it out. So you might get lucky and avoid the traps getting you. 2 turns might have the ball bearing sat in this leaf, ready for the next player to turn it up closer to the top. When the mechanism is set off though, it's a pretty impressive chain reaction. Crank the wheel to lift the ball bearing up to the top. It'll drop into the palm tree, which will shake the monkey loose and land on the seesaw. Meanwhile, the ball bearing rolls past the treehouse into the bamboo chute. It rolls over the giraffe's tail, causing its head to drop, then under the shaky bridge, knocking any player stood on there with the loose planks. Down the chute and into the elephant's trunk where there's no sugarcoating this, it comes out of its arse, along the elephant path, back into the wheel, ready to be scooped up all over again. But I hear you asking, what about the snake? Well, turning the crank causes the snake to wiggle back and forth. It's pretty clever. So you make your way around the board, activating the crank, getting caught in traps and moving to the start, landing on squares and moving back into the race, setting traps off and catching your opponents in them until you come to the treehouse. You climb the stairs, and another piece of really clever design here. The final square is this little round peg where your explorer fits into. His position here actually diverts the ball bearing down another path. You crank the wheel, the ball bearing rolls down, bumps into the explorer, round the back of the hut, down this hole, and the golden monkey comes flying out of the roof. You found it! You found the golden monkey! You win the game! What a fantastically pointless mechanism this is. There's zero need for it to come bursting out of the roof of the hut, but Tomy did it. They did it. And I really enjoy it. There's a few things I don't like with this game. First, the Explorer play pieces. They're nicely modelled, don't get me wrong, but could they have modelled them in different colours other than the board game pieces? It's really easy to lose sight of where your play pieces as they blend in so well. The other thing as well is getting knocked off the bridge or by the snake, big hands are going to really struggle retrieving those pieces.
So, Rumble in the Jungle. There's no denying that this is a well-engineered game and you get a lot of stuff in the box for your money, but this is a kid's game at its heart, it really is. That's not to say it's not fun, but the gameplay is more or less look what you roll, look where you land on the board, look whether those squares have you activating the traps, or whether it moves you around the board underneath a trap. It's all look, and in that respect there's no skill to it, but seeing the contraption working is a lot of fun, as is seeing that monkey spring out at the end. I love surprising people with that. It's the pop-up pirate thing all over again. Is this an essential purchase for a retro games collection? No, of course it's not. But if you can find this for a couple of quid, yeah, it's worth picking up and having a play with. Well, as always, I'm Luke. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.